dicer slightly higher, just so you don't get any.
Yeah, I can feel it there, yeah.
Better, much better.
Yeah.
So there's this talk of in Wing Chun you draw your power from the ground. That's a fairly common sort of thing that you'll hear people say. And for us, we do that, we think of it in those terms. We generate the power in the hips, but you've got to have a good stance and structure off the ground, because eventually, when I do all this stuff, I'm pinned hard on the ground at the moment of impact. So the dice starts off like this. This is a beginner one, and really that'll be superseded when a student's got good junmar and a good stance. The next one comes in like so, and it's very offensive. Not in a kind of you suck kind of offensive way. Offensive as in that's an attack, that's an attack as well. You add the footwork to it, it becomes very highly mobile, and I can tell you from experience that some of these techniques, when they're done properly against a proper attack, the attacker's wrist will break. There's been a few of us over the years in my Sifu school who have broken people's wrists with these accidentally. I mean, we don't go out to deliberately bust wrists, but we have broken people's wrists doing it. So, yeah, we'll go into that. So the first thing to really get about the Wing Chun we're doing here is that it's not passive at all. We're not thinking attack comes, I'm going to grab it and direct it to the floor. I'm thinking, I want to break him. I'm thinking as that comes, I want to attack that. It's not a block, it's an attack. And I want to attack whatever target that presents itself as viable. The other thing we got with Diceo especially was that it's not going to stop a boxer's hook punch. So none of us are boxers. I've never known boxing. We do have some guys in our class who have done boxing, but people looked at this Diceo that we do here like that, saying, "Oh, that won't stop a hook punch. Now don't hit me, but do a hook punch." Of course it's not, because you're stuck here like so. My center line facing his, and he's changing the angles completely. So, as I said, this is a beginner technique. If you can't do this one, you're not going to be able to do that one. If you can't do that one, we'll do it that way, so I'm not facing away from it. If you can't do that one, you're not going to be able to start using the footwork. Now, in terms of something that's hooking around, we don't just, it'd be silly to try and stick here and be stuck in one spot in your Iji Kimiyama or something. Our strategy is to use our feet to adapt to whatever attack's being presented to us. So in the first instance, that ain't going to work. It's not meant to work that way. This is against one of these, and like I said, in one of these forums that Nick put video on, that's it's most definitely going to stop one of those. Even if from someone much bigger than you, it'll stop it if you've trained at it properly, if you've got a good stance. So much so that one of the funniest things we saw in our Sifu's class was, my Sifu's retired, so that's why I started my class, but back when my Sifu was running his school, one of the funniest things we saw was a guy come in like a proper muscle man, the big muscles everywhere, and he was doing this technique with a 14, 15-year-old kid. And the muscle man was, as muscle men tend to be, pretty cocky. And one of these came in. He did that to the kid. He punched fairly hard because the little kid said no, punch harder. And the muscle man was literally on his knees in tears because his arm was in that much pain. So, you know, it's going to work against someone who's much bigger than you. So that's the first point. The second point is, if you haven't knocked someone's face with your punch first, I mean, their punch is coming from all the way back there. If you're so slow that you have to get it here, then you've got to go and train harder. It's going to look more like something to that effect. And indeed, everyone I know who's used this technique in an actual self-defense situation, some of my instructors, in fact, have used it. From what they've, and my Sifu never encouraged us to go and fight or anything like that. He's always very safety conscious and never encouraged people to go and be silly. On the other hand, if he heard that you had to use it in self-defense, he'd get really quite excited and want to know all the details. And every single time, by the time the person was back here, the dice cell was up, but this had landed long before that was ever even in place, or even close to hitting someone. So if you can punch hard and fast, that's the best thing to do. Next, with the hooking around stuff, the dice cell with the turn is really the better expression of the technique. This one's just a beginner thing. But even with the turn, it's still very, very limited in terms of its application, because you'd want to be moving around appropriately. There could be two ways you could do it. You could come around and back in, but that's a bit iffy because if he's pretty quick, you've given him another chance. On the other hand, coming in immediately across that line, it does pose the risk that he could be coming with that one, but keep in mind, you should be coming with your punch as he thinks he'd be landing that one. So this is the idea of trying to be a step ahead with your simultaneous attack and defense. So that's just a few things about the dice cell. Like all of our Wing Chun, what you're seeing in our videos, I hoped to make it clear that it's a progression. We start off with this sort of thing, whether it's dice cell, gun cell. The next step is to add the turns into it with the gun cell, and eventually, as you learn the footwork, you do the footwork and so on. So our Wing Chun is offensive. It's probably in more ways than one to some people, but that's a joke. You guys are too serious. We have an offensive mindset in that we don't want to be trying to just passively stop and absorb things. That's the other reason why if a punch comes, we're not going to try and get some sort of, in inverted commas, bridge. To us, this really isn't the bridge. The bridge is what you do with your feet more than anything. That's contact, getting contact in our terms. We refer to or regard more the bridges than moving in. So we want to be very offensively minded in our Wing Chun. We're not going to have a punch come, try to get contact, and then struggle to come in. Because if he's good, he's already, and he is good, he's already a step ahead. What I want to do is get on top of him first. So we want to take the fight, so to speak, to him straight away. The second thing is none of it is a defense in inverted commas. We're attacking. Even the basic dice cell is a strike. It's not catching and redirecting. And the next thing to kind of get about that is that even though a lot of the time our beginners to intermediate to sort of even to upper level students do their techniques mostly stuck in Yiji Kim Yang Ma in front of each other drilling their techniques. Because for us, the Yiji Kim Yang Ma is the most absolutely most basic and crucial thing that a student has to have. If they don't have that, none of this is going to work. So what I do when I'm teaching Wing Chun is make sure that the number one really good thing a student gets in the first however long it takes them is a good stance. Because if the stance is no good, no matter how good the dice are, as you hit hard, I'll start getting rocked up here. I sink in my stance, I'm not going to move. If I start getting knocked about in my stance, your structure's out the window, it's gone. So even though if you watch some of our videos, most of the students you see, because our school's only quite young, even though I inherited a lot of students from my Sifu school when I opened my school, even then they were fairly not very high level. Nick's the one I've been teaching the longest, so nearly 8 years now.
Closer to 9 or 10.
Yeah, closer to 9 or 10 years. So his Wing Chun's much more mobile and dynamic. But he did the same training. I did the same training. Just standing in one spot, drilling these techniques till they're foolproof. So once that's happened, once I can see a student's going to do dice out on that hand, dice out on the other hand, and arms together, and even Tan Sao thrown in, and whatever, all of that, punches come anywhere, they can catch all of them. Then I look at it and go, alright, you're ready for this now. Because if you start trying to do this from the beginning, it's going to be terrible. It'll be really, it's more fun, but it's going to be all over the place. And this wobbliness that we don't want is going to be introduced into that. So I like to build people up from their foundations, which is the stance, the punches and the turns, from the beginning. Take a time to do that. It's slower in the short term. In the long term, people learn much more quickly, and the quality is much higher as a result. Sorry, the medication I take for my back.
We'll just cut that out. Just
Yeah, it makes me pretty dopey anyway. But anyway, got to have a really good stance. Most of the time you're going to be like this, because I want a really good solid basis for that. If the basis of this isn't solid, the basis for that kind of stuff is going to be really shoddy, and so on. So weaknesses will amplify the further along they go. So that's why we spend so much time in Yiji Kim Yang Ma drilling these techniques like they are. So is there anything else about the dice that we might want?
not that I can think of.
Okay. Alright.